Hey, so we're going to get to the second part. We have two talks planned tonight. One about Mohammed, about observability and using AI. So I'm curious to learn more about that. And the next one we have tonight is Thiago about HashiCorp and using Vault for managing secrets. So excited to have that on the second section of the talk. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Mohammed on the stage.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining. I'm gonna use the mic just for the first slides, and I need my two hands for the demo. My name is Mohammed, coming from a cybersecurity background. Today topic, I didn't bring this title, I just asked ChatGPT how give me a nice title. What we're gonna see today is an overview about the generative AI, and then we will jump to RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Then we will have a demo. In the previous session, or in the meeting of the last month, I did the first talk for DevOps. I have talked about the use of Elastic Stack for the observability use case. And today is gonna be the next. So if you missed the first one, I will put later a link for the video. And let's jump to our presentation. Before we dive into our demo today, or our presentation, let's agree on some terminologies. Even I know you're already all familiar with that, but it's just AI for short, or artificial intelligence is the science. So it's the science of teaching a computer to think, and to be able to leverage that, we need to use machine learning algorithm. Neural network is a type of machine learning model inspired by a human brain. Then we have the transformer model. This is where the magic happens. All the generative AI, RAG, everything is happening because of the transformer model. We have a dedicated slide to talk about the transformer model, but let me read it again. So it's neural network architecture for analyzing language, right? Next, we have a large language model. It's part of the transformer model. It's a machine learning trained on massive data. Then finally, we have the generative AI. It's what me and you, everyone now is hearing and talking about. Gemini, ChatGPT, and others. Right? Another point that I have to mention here: the LLM is not a database. If you have a LLM or large language model and you ask a question, you get an answer this week. In next week or next month, we're gonna develop, or the LLM gonna develop another connectors and another neurons, and you will get maybe a better response, which is not the case for database. If you have the same database, you will get logically the same answer after one year or whatever. What's the limitation of the traditional AI? So in the traditional AI, when we have an input, it's a process, it's a sequence, right? When we get whatever, like sentence or input, it's processing it sequentially. And this, when it works like this, when it gets to the end, it may forget the beginning. And this will lack the global view of the question, and like in NLP, or it's like the global view of the input, whatever the input is. And that's why we have this transformer model. In 2017, a group of researchers from Google, they shared the attention is all you need. So you can Google the title, and they introduced this model, how it works. So it's more complicated, but this is what we want to learn, or what we need to learn So we saw in the previous AI model sequentially, so here it's in parallel. We have, when we put the input, or when we insert the input, it's treated in parallel. And this will help to understand or get the global view of the input, especially with NLP. What helped to process the parallelism is using the GPU to compile or to run the LLM. And this is an example of how the LLM gets training. So this is an example of Llama model, 70 billion parameter. So they collect 10 terabytes and they use the GPU. So we said using GPU. They use 6,000 GPU for 12 days, and it costs around 2 million. So it's really expensive and time-consuming to train your model. Hugging Face, it's the GitHub/GitLab for the LLM. It's the place where you can search for the existing open source LLM. If you want to use it, you can submit a request. You may get a response with seconds to days. Me, a few days to get an answer or to get the access. I can request for a token to get access to the model. Back to the transformer. So we all familiar what the transformer or the generative AI can do. I will not go through these points, but the most important thing is the workflow or how it works. So we have the inputs. So whatever it's like, in this case we have the string. So the first thing is to tokenize the input. So it puts everything in a token, right? The token is just word or part of word. Then it's converted to an integer, then put it in a vector. Then from the vector, it's moved to the LLM to be trained or to process it. Right? This is again the workflow, the input, tokenization, and transform to the neural network, decode or decoder, and then we get the result or we get the output. There is another slide about the strengths and the limitations. So generative AI is like any other technology. It has some positive and negative points or strengths and limitations. We all familiar with the strengths. I'm gonna focus on the limitations because we're gonna use it for next. So the first point is the limitation is it's based on a model, or the model is trained on public available data, right? So if you have specific question like let's say your infrastructure or your environment, you will get an answer. You will not get an answer. Why? Because the model itself gets trained on a public available data. In this case, like when you use a public LLM. Sorry, go back. Another limitation is the data is frozen. So if you use, for example, OpenAI, I have a slide here. So the data is frozen on October 23. So we have more than a year. Like the data, like we are missing almost one year. Hallucination or hallucinations. This is one of the limitations of the generative AI or LLM. Let's say, I'll just give an example. You ask for non-existing country. So instead of the LLM say, look, this country doesn't exist, and you ask, for example, for the capital of this country, he will give you a non-existing capital. So they keep giving an answers. This is one of the problems. Again, we're gonna see how we resolve all these problems. Lastly, we have the cost and the privacy. So if you are using generative AI as a service, it's come with a cost. They measure it or they count by token. So you will be paying like how many token you did consume, and also the privacy is one of the problems now by using the generative AI or any generative AI service. Right. So here we're gonna jump to the RAG. and say, well, let's say, we said one of the limitation is the LLM gets trained on a public available data, right? But in our case, we have our knowledge base, right? How we can combine what the LLM provide and what we have as knowledge base, right? So let's say we have a website, we are collecting metrics, logs, or infrastructure. How we can combine between the both to get a better result from the LLM. And this, if you did not get the point here, so this is a chicken rice example. So I never ask ChatGPT how to cook something, but let's just imagine we ask ChatGPT how to prepare chicken rice. So he will give you all the ingredients. So what you do, you go to the fridge, and suddenly you will not find all the ingredients in your fridge. You will have just 2 or 3 ingredients. You will have chicken, white rice, and garlic. So you will go back to the LLM and or to ChatGPT and said, look, this is what I have. I want to do the same. Give me how I can do it. And here you customize or you provide your knowledge base, which is in this case what you have in your fridge. The same thing what we gonna show in the demo later. I'm using Elasticsearch or Elastic to be the bridge between our knowledge. So we are using, or in the demo, we're using Elasticsearch as a centralized observability platform where we index and store all the telemetries, logs, metrics, and so on and so forth. And also we will combine or we will connect to the LLM. In the demo, I have two suggestions or two ways to communicate to the LLM. So we said here the privacy. So in our presentation or our demo, I will use both. I will use OpenAI. So I have a token, and you have to pay for it to be able to access to the LLM. And maybe just a point here, the difference between using or interacting with LLM or using ChatGPT directly. When you use ChatGPT, you are not interacting with the LLM. You have to go to OpenAI website and subscribe and pay some, I don't know how they call it, credits, and then you will be able to access to the LLM directly, right? The second part is I will use LM Studio, and I will show you how we find the model, how we download it, how we run it locally even in your computer, and you will be able to send a request and get a response from it. So let's see if I have another slide or ready to go. Yeah, this is how it works, like our RAG. So it's the same example that I give. So this is our knowledge base, whatever is in my case it's in Elasticsearch. It can be whatever or in any other database. So here you ask the question. Before you go to the LLM, you go to your knowledge base, you collect the information. Let's say you have an alert or an incident, you collect all the logs or all the metrics related to this incident, then you send the question to the LLM, and here the LLM will combine like the information from what he gets trained plus what you provide, then it will give you customized answer. Another two points, we are limited with the time, I'll just mention. Also to benefit from the LLM, there is a prompt engineering, right? And there is a fine tuning. So if you get a chance, go and search on this. It's also a good way to benefit from the LLM. So in our case, we just gonna see the drug. I hope you can hear me now. I guess it's good. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So here I have Elasticsearch. Right. We're gonna use the observability. So this is the observability, and this is what we're gonna use for our demo. But before I jump to this, I have mentioned the Hugging Face. So this is Hugging Face. You come here, you ask or you search on the model that you are asking, and you will be able to download it or to access it. If you want to get access directly to the LLM model, you have to submit a request, and it takes time to provide, or we say yes or no. If yes, you can access. If no, I don't know what's the reason. I never get no, like whenever you ask. But keep in mind, sometimes it takes time to get an answer. Now, if you don't want to use the Hugging Face and you want to download the model, this is LM Studio. I'm not an expert in LM Studio, but I'll show you what I do. So here you come and you search for the model, and you type the name, and you will get all the open source model. And if you can see here on the right, you will see like my machine, 16 gigabytes. I can run 8 billion parameter Llama model on my machine. If it's not, I will get orange or red flag here, which means I cannot run it. So you download it. Then, once you download it, you come here to developer and you select the model, and you will be able to download it here. To test, you can use it here to ask the questions. And like here, you can interact like you are using ChatGPT here. You send the question to the LLM, and you will get an answer. Yeah. You may notice the speed, but anyways, this is the what it's provide. Now, if you want to consume it as a service, I don't need to. I want to use it from Elasticsearch. What I do, like you see here, you can start the server, and it will be running on. You cannot see from here. Yes, it's on this port, and this is the API usage. There we go. So you have the link or the URL. HTTP is not secure on localhost, and this is the port. Now, from Elasticsearch, if I go here, I create a connector. Here we go. I create a connector. Here I have two. So to show you the first one that I'm showing now. So if I do this, give me 1 second. Let me just put it here. If I run a test here. So you see here in real time that we are getting the request, and here it said connected. So the same thing, if I do, let me just use this one. So if I do this from our AI assistant, so if I come here to observability or any place in Elastic, and yes, so here if I ask the same question, then you just open this. So you will be able to see the request submitted here, and here it's showing us the output. The same with OpenAI. So here from here, I can just change the connector. Oh, sorry, come here back. So here I choose the connector. Sorry, I was using the observability, and here I'm using Llama. So Spark. So and here it will send. You will see the request submitted here, and we will get the answer. And this time we are using the LM or Llama model, right? Okay. Yeah. Now I'm jumping to another environment, and this is the example that I want to show, or this is the scenario that we are building. There we go. So imagine you are using Elastic or using the observability. The observability for sure is like just for detection. So in Elastic, we can create detections based on search or aggregation, or even we can use AI or the normal AI like we will, or supervised machine learning job to detect any anomalies. It will create a model for each entity and each user. And if we have any peak or any spike in the usage, it will generate an alert. Now, this is the first part, right? Now, how the LLM can help us? Usually, what's the average time to do the investigation is 40 minutes. So using the LLM, it can reduce the time, right, to do your investigation. So this is the alert. Now I want to, I don't know if you can see it like this or no. I think you can see it like this. So when you click and you want to get some details about the alert, here is here is the log rate. So this is the thing that I was talking about. Define what's normal. If we have something not normal, then it will generate an alert. And here I open it in another tag. There we go. So if we wait and don't want to wait much, it's gonna take some time to analyze all the data that I have related to this alert. That's why I open another one here, and it's ready. So when the analysis finish, we get the output of the EI model. I didn't start working with the LLM, right? I'm still in the alert itself. So now the first question, as an infrastructure, as DevOps, as whatever, security analyst, like you get what's the reason, right? So you see his BG bench. So you may know and you may not know what's this. So the first thing, if you don't know, you go to the documentation and you're gonna spend some time to learn or to read about this document. Otherwise, we have our assistant here. You just click, and here it will collect all the informations related to this issue, and it will submit a request to our LLM about this problem. So here, I don't know what's this PG bench. So it sent a request, and here you get a summary about the alert. And here you can first learn and educate about this technology or who is causing this issue. In our case, it's this PG bench from PostgreSQL. So here, and also you will get an investigation guide. Right now, you know what's this, and what's the next step. Right? You can stop here, or you can go more. Now, if you copy the issue and you go to the ChatGPT, for example, and you ask, you may get something similar to this, but we are going deep now. Now we're gonna combine our metrics and telemetries, and like we will try to understand from where this problem is coming and how we can solve it, and also does this impact, let's say, the other services? Does this impact the income of the company? Does this impact other services? So this is what we can, like, it can help us to build a full image on what happened. So here you click start, right? And here, so I just prepared the questions. So here I will ask the first question: does this service is running, or this service made in these issues is legit or normal on our production service? So here it will investigate, right, if it is normal or no. Maybe it's something related to security attack or something. So it will give you an output. So here you read and you get the point that, okay, we are using it for benchmarking our database, and this is, we use it normally for our production. So the first thing is we are safe. So here I will ask the second question, like, did this incident have any impact on our service, right? On our service in general. So you submit, and here it will analyzing all the other services we have. Like, again, we are sending the metrics. So we have a spike at on 7 June 2022, and we have other services are running. Does the other services get infected based on this issue or no? So here you get a summary, and it explains. So it's create a visualization automatically to show you what was the, for example, for failure rate and the throughput, and this is the comparison. This will may give you more idea, and you know, like, this is within a few seconds. Like, you just ask a question and you get the answers. Better than you go and you do the investigation manually. So here you get the point. Then here we will ask, is there like here we want also to ask him to visualize, for example, our revenue for this day. So here you ask, and it will, like, the first task we'll do is create the ESQL or Elasticsearch query language on or prepare it in the right syntax. Then we will be able to run it directly here from the AI assistant. Like, you don't need to go and you write your own query. You can from here just write your query, and you don't even need to execute it. You click here on visualize, or it's already here, right? And the last question we may ask is this one. So what's the total revenue on this date, for example? So here you run the same, it will prepare the ESQL query, and then we run it and get back the result, or just make the search query and you run it. So here, give it a few seconds. There we go, it's preparing the ESQL query, and here we can run it manually or just wait, and here it gives you the total revenue for this date. If you want to run the query or you create visualization, you just click on the create visualization, and here we go, it's already done. Let's just scroll down. Here we go, and here you get the answer, right? We got to the end of this presentation. This is a safe QR code. Don't be afraid. This is just for my YouTube channel. I try to share this kind of. Yep, go ahead.
Well, thanks for the demo. I was just trying to, maybe I missed it, but Elastic, when you were showing the interface, the AI assistant, was it using a model like hosted in their cloud, or did you make an actual connection with your laptop?
No, I did the
With
actual connection with my
LLM
laptop
Studio.
or with OpenAI. So
Okay.
I made the two connections. So it's not Elastic. They don't have their own.
Yeah, exactly.
LLM
That's what
model.
I was wondering.
No,
'Cause-
they don't have their
Okay.
own LLM model. Yep.
For the observability in Elastic, does it offer observability for the document stores only, or also for the models?
No, the observability is for the logs and metrics and the telemetries that you are sending.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
does it include for the usage of the model? Because in the rack setup,
Yes.
does it monitor the models as well, like the usage of the models? Because that's
There is a dashboards, like it can monitor how many token you send, how many requests you send. That's what you can send, or what you can visualize.
okay.
Yeah. Other questions? Oh. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
A question. Okay.
So I take it you've been using this in a production environment?
Yes.
For your own? How often have you run into hallucination problems with it?
Right. Using prompt engineering, right, and sometimes even no, I never use the fine tuning, but the prompt engineering and the RAG, it's reduced, but it's keep giving us, like, especially for the queries. Like, since the ESQL itself, it's new. There is a lot of querying language in Elastic. They're now moving to the this new query language, which is ESQL.
Yeah.
So I face a lot of research. Like, when I find, I like do a reinforcement learning. Like, this is the right way, and give me this syntax, for example. Or I point to the right documentation, or upload the right documentation and ask, not based on what gets trained, but based on this document. Yeah. Yep.
How does it address that privacy concern? Like, is it sending all the information?
Yeah. So when you deploy the model locally, you don't have this issue. Right?
Exactly.
So when you deploy it on, I show here this example. So I'm running it here on my computer, like on your infrastructure or cloud or on your infrastructure. You can deploy the same, right? And you send the request, and it will be internal. You will not expose it to the generative AI service. So it will be still your service and your data. Yeah. This is the one. The second, like, if you want to use, let's say, OpenAI, you have to make sure that the connection is secure or encrypted, and you have to treat it as any other service, right? So it's just different name, generative, like database as a service. This is generative AI as a service. So you just treat it as any other service. Make sense? Yep. Yep.
The Elasticsearch demo, was it using Llama, the Llama model
Llama.
underneath, or?
In this case,
Yeah.
I was using both Llama and OpenAI.
Okay, so my question is, Llama is a very broad purpose model. Are there models that work better when working with logs?
Yes, that's a
DevOps
good
context?
question. So there is me, for example, I'm in cybersecurity. So there is a specific models. Like if you are in observability, for example, you can search for a dedicated model for observability, and you will get a better response, better than using, for example, Llama 7 billions, which get trained on everything. So more you specify the model, or you ask specified model, you get a better response.
Okay, so do you know of any ranking
For
models like Mistral
yes,
or-
for security, not for observability. For observability, this is what I'm using. For security, is ES something.
Yes.
no, I can share it later, but yeah,
It's okay.
They
Okay.
train it on.
So basically, search on Hugging Face, find a better suited purpose.
Yes,
model.
this is one thing. The other point is when you search, for example, 1 second. Okay, when you search for the model here, you see the link for the hacking. So for the security reasons, you need to go and check like this is existing in the model. It's not doing something suspicious to your data or storing your data, or like you have to make sure that you are using a legit model, not any
Safe
model.
sensors, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, go.
Actually, how does the LLM Studio differ from, let's say, for Llama or ChatGPT 4?
This is just to run it. So, for example, Meta, they collect, as I showed in the slide, they do 1 second. They do this work. Where are you? Yes, this one. So Meta and other companies, they collect the logs, right? We was talking about the security use case. They was collecting the security logs and informations, and they train the model. Then you have the model ready. And this, what you need to download on your machine and you execute. You don't need to do all of this stuff, right? You don't need to collect the data. You don't need to train your model. You just take the output of the execution or the training of this model, and you use it as we did here. So here is 70 billion. I was using the 8 billion parameter on my machine. I was using this one.
Sorry, I mean like for Llama, not Llama. For Llama, it's like a open source service for like a.
No, I don't know this one.
Okay.
Llama is a backend, so basically you generally send API calls to Llama, you can use something like Open Web UI or something like that to connect to your Llama backend.
Uh-huh.
That's how you use a Llama in a situation like this.
Yeah, so you can connect Elasticsearch to like for Llama instead of this one.
Yeah, same way that he could set up the connector to connect to his LM Studio. Instead of LM Studio, you can use Llama with whatever list of LLMs you can use, and that's kind of the same.
Yeah, this pattern can be repeated somewhere else.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, so for Elasticsearch, I guess you guys have on the observability side, you have like a artifact detection.
Yes.
All this technology that exists, trying to do data mining on the data that you collect. With AI and this model, are you able to improve on the current technologies that are provided by the Elasticsearch?
I don't know what they are cooking. I just use the tool. I don't know what I do in. I don't know. I don't have answer on this question. I don't know if they doing. If they, as you mentioned, are they doing something? I know they optimize the search result using AI, but not in this thing. Yeah. Okay. Bon, merci. Thank you.
Merci.